So I am back with my Miele twist, and this is kind of like the cleaning demo portion of it. I do a couple different videos. Lately I've been doing a lot of these one-year updates because I'm not really actively collecting or searching for vacuums at the moment. I'm really just kind of playing around with the ones that I've got. But this is pretty much the cleaning demo of the one-year update on this machine. Now, there's a controversial sort of thing between what others have viewed that I agree with and some other things that some other reviewers have seen with their twist or their tango or their salsa or whatever the model that they have. Personally, the brush roll spins really fast. It does. It's a high-speed brush roll. The brushing is relatively aggressive, but it doesn't create that vibration that my Kirby or my Maytag, which is essentially a Taconi Riccar Simplicity tandem air machine. It's just a Maytag branded model. Even my Wessel work, power nozzles, it spins very fast. It's got a nice sound to it, and you can hear it, but there is literally no movement on the carpet. It cleans relatively well, and it's getting everything deep down. But again, it doesn't, for some reason, have the same aggressive feel to it. It sounds aggressive. I'm not saying that it's not aggressive, but the grooming to me is about average on this carpet. It's about average on every carpet that I have. And I found that even with my SEB 236, it kind of does the same thing. I don't know if it's just a Miele thing, but that's just kind of what I found with this twist. Because if you've seen my video of the Kirby versus the Miele, they both clean the salt out of the carpet fine, but you could not see where the salt was with the twist, because it wasn't making the salt dance out of the carpet like the Kirby did. And even my Maytag makes it dance out of it. Even my Riccar Superlight has really great aggressive agitation. This one, I don't know if it's just because the bristles are really short and stiff on it. It just doesn't have the same effect to the carpet. But it doesn't seem to miss a beat when it comes to cleaning. But for me, being like an enthusiast or like someone who's really like into vacuums and follows them, something like that is part of the wow factor that makes me think, oh my gosh, this vacuum's great. Like, it does everything. It cleans the carpets great. It puts on a great show. Whereas this is more geared to someone who doesn't really look at things like that. But if you were to put any vacuum cleaner, to be honest, on one of those rubber-backed carpets that they use in a vacuum cleaner store, they all like have that like wow effect where you can see the sand and things dancing out of the carpet. But it's very rare that you see a video with this Miele or like a Miele upright. There have been some that I've seen, but they don't do a lot of them. Mostly it's Taconi demonstrations that you see vacuums like that being done with. So I would say the agitation on this is similar to like a Dyson. Which some of you may be like, no, but most of you would probably be diehard Miele fans. It's just like the controversial Ford versus Chevy versus Dodge sort of thing. Everyone's got their favorite. By the way, I was not raised to be a Ford fan, but I am a Ford fan because I was a Chevy salesman and a Dodge salesman for a while, selling Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, and Chevy. And I can tell you right now, you know, first of all, the Jeeps were in the shop the most. Dodges have terrible resale value, and they're rated pretty much by every third-party tester to be one of the worst and least reliable brands on the market. And Chevys just, they don't offer enough. But Fords, they're just pretty innovative, and I have a Ford with pretty high miles on it, and I love it. But it's all based on experience. Like, we can all bring and say, you know, well, I've had this and I've had that. And usually it's our bad luck where just, you know, coincidentally we had bad luck with something and now we hate that brand. My father hates Craftsman, and I like Craftsman, so, like Craftsman tools. So one thing you'll notice, getting back on track here, One thing you'll notice when I turn the vacuum on, I'm going to turn the main motor on, the suction first, and you'll hear it, it has a slow start, and then when I turn on the brush roll, the motor actually turns down, like the suction turns down. I don't know if it's because it's sharing power. I'm almost positive it's just because it's more efficient and it doesn't need that extra suction when cleaning carpets. I know that that's what it is, but I don't know also if it's a power thing where it turns the main motor down because it's saving energy as well. Like they could be saying that it's an efficiency thing, it doesn't need it, but it's also possible that, you know, there's some other things to it as well, because otherwise I would honestly just say, no, I want the full power. I want this whole suction and everything. You know, leave it on. So there may be like an actual physical reason why they're not able to do that. I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell me. So you heard it turn down, and there's no movement on the carpet, really. But it's kind of neat because of the top fill design on this vacuum. You can hear all the stuff coming in right through the top front portion up by the dial. So it's cleaning just as well. I'm doing some slower strokes and some quicker strokes, just to kind of see if there's a big difference. You don't have to go slow with this vacuum to accomplish the same cleaning in one pass on these big items as some other, or on the slower passes, or it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make a difference. I don't know what that is. Looks like a piece of lettuce, and I just vacuumed in here with this vacuum. So there's this swivel action again, for those of you who care. If you really have it up against something, if you swivel it, like the leg of this chair, if I have it facing straight on, if I swivel it this way, I'm not going to clear that leg. If I swivel it the other way, I'm not going to clear the leg. So to me, it's kind of just a selling point to me, and it kind of has to be one of those, well, I'll finish talking when I'm done. So the one thing I really like about this is when it's in the upright position, it's just a very solid vacuum. It feels very solid. It doesn't have any play in it anywhere. Obviously, the handle just has that little bit of movement, but that's just because of how it connects together. But the vacuum itself, it doesn't, you know, move forward and backwards. If you move it backwards, the front comes off the ground just as soon as the back starts to move too. So when it locks into position, it's locked in. When I was at the store, they told me to stand the vacuum up like this. You swivel it to the side first, then push it up, then twist it. But I have yet to see anybody else do that. I don't know if that's just a fluke, but he told me that that'll save on the mechanism wearing out. But one of the things that I was trying to say was one thing that I don't even remember what I was going to say now. I don't think it was about the speed or anything like that. Oh, the swivel mechanism. I kind of feel like it's just for show. I don't see where it's really useful, because I'll show you, for instance, okay? Now, if I have, like this tablet, okay? I have this tablet right here, and I'm vacuuming up against this piece of furniture. Say that that's it. I'm not going to move the vacuum back or forward. If I swivel it this way, I'm just barely going to clear that, okay? If I swivel it this way, I'm just barely going to clear that. So if I'm any closer, if I try and swivel, it ain't happening. So it's not really speeding up your cleaning at all. It depends on how far backward or forward you are in order to miss something. I feel like it's trying to steer like a sailboat, You know, it's not going to turn on a dime like a car. It's a cool design, but it just, to me, doesn't have the same usefulness as if I bring over my Shark or something like that. Again, just for comparison, because this is a one-year update for the people who are looking into buying this vacuum and paying the money. If I'm this close and I want to swivel out of the way of it, it's going to do it. This Shark will do it. I'm not moving the vacuum forward or backwards. I mean, I can be pretty much right up on top of this thing, swivel out of the way, and then get right around it. So this machine is a lot more nimble, not even just width-ways. And I understand that, like, this is a narrower machine, but even if I have it like this, if I twist this way, I can still go around it. It doesn't, oopsie, it doesn't matter how much, like, I'm over to one side or the other. Let's say it is a wide, you know, piece of furniture or something. I can swivel and get it out of the way much easier than this twist is. Again, I know this is a narrower machine, but that's why I kind of, like, gave it the benefit of the doubt and said, you know, let's stick it over here and pretend it's a wider machine. And I can still clear that much easier and a lot closer. If I was as far back as I was with the twist, it wouldn't even matter if I was over here and tried to do, like, there's just, this thing can essentially twist to the point that it'll go backwards. So that's just one thing that I know a lot of people are into now. It's all about the swivel, and a lot of these vacuum cleaner companies that have stayed out of it for a long time, like Electrolux, they have the new Pro Swivel, because that's one of the big things now, just like cell phones. But, so that's kind of my take on that whole mechanism of the vacuum. But the lowdown would be, is it worth the $329? Yes, I would say so. If you're gonna buy one of these, I would not recommend going any higher than the Salsa. I just wouldn't. To me, it's a waste of money. Don't spend that much money if you're honestly going to get yourself up into even the territory of the Jazz. Start looking at other machines that are in the same category, like the Maytag or something like that. Just because I think you're going to get more machine for the same amount of money, and you're going to be more pleased with it. And this is honestly just a tiny bit more versatile to use and easier to use than something that doesn't have a swivel mechanism. The bag is about average size. It's not small, but it's not uber huge. The bags are pretty expensive for it too, and repairs are expensive too out of the warranty. So that's some of the things to think about. Would I recommend you buy a VW for a commuter car? Like, if you're like a traveler, probably not. I'm going to recommend you buy a Toyota or, you know, like a Subaru or something like super reliable that, I mean, you can pretty much run with no oil and it'll be just fine. To me, I don't feel that the Miele is really, this specific Miele, this series, I guess I should say, is worth more than the $300 to $450 price range. So the ones that I do recommend, if you are really dead set on buying one of these, because I'll recommend it, I'm not saying it's a bad vacuum, would be the Maverick, the Twist, or the Salsa. If you can find the Jazz, I believe the Jazz was actually $4.99 at like a local store of mine. That wouldn't be a bad choice either if you're into canary yellow. I'm not. So, but otherwise, don't go any higher than that because you're not gaining any features. You're just gaining headlights, which again starts at the Salsa, and you'll have a filtration with that, which you can always upgrade later, but you can't upgrade the LED headlights. So again, just, you know, putting my thoughts out there. If you disagree, that's fine, but this is my channel and I get to make my videos and that's what I get to do, you know, so thank you for watching, and if you guys have questions, please leave them, and I will try and answer them to the best of my ability. Thanks for watching.